Hi, I'm Rodney C. Johnson, the as yet undiscovered writer of Starblade the Sundering, which I suppose I want to talk about today. This is my video log, weblog, whatever you want to call it. Originally the story started out about being a genetically engineered girl named Frederica. She's, like, you could probably picture her as a cross between Lara Croft and Jessica Alba's character from Dark Angel. She's, spy for her country and stuff like that, which is a small state of Saxe-Coburg in Germany. Anyways, she's this genetically engineered girl. The story, though, slightly evolved forward as I was writing it. I realized it just wasn't about her. It was also about Nadia, who is the main male character's wife. Nadia Karelia, who was the first, one of the first test tube babies. Her parents literally mixed together, their genes in a petri dish, and then gave birth to her. After number of trials and errors, 9 specifically. And as the story evolved forward, it clearly was becoming very evident to me that it was about the female presence in the story and all these females that surround Shar and how they represent different aspects of them. Nadia, of course, is very prevalent, and since I've got the book divided into 3 novellas, as I've gone on to the other 2, the focus sort of shifted more towards Nadia and her reaction to Shar and some of his history and various things that unfolded with him. I suppose I might bring up that he dies in the beginning of the 3rd part, and of course that has repercussions. And he dies, his death is directly brought about by, some of his history, and particularly related to this girl in his past. And, it has repercussions for Nadia, who for better or worse, has, been totally in love with Shar, despite all his obvious flaws, which I guess supposed to carry me into my next topic. It's a very political book, even though I tried my best to not, make that so overt, because I would never want my own personal points of view to distract from the entertainment value of my story. And I try to, keep it always balanced out. But one of the themes in the book is world leaders making choices that, they sometimes have no choice but to make because they have to go on the best information they have at that time, even though that will probably lead to, war and ruin. In the book, Shar actually winds up making a choice like this. He finds out that, one of them calling the Imperium has gotten its hands on alien technology and is going to make a nanovirus and release it onto the island because there's various important things on the Falconian island nation that they want. It's an artificial island, and they've got a whole bunch of miracle technology there themselves. And so he learns about this. They have very sketchy information from basically one source about this nanovirus. Shar has to make a choice. Well, he can attack and try to get his hands on the nanovirus to prevent, the Imperium from using it against them, or not. So, of course, he chooses to do that. And this choice leads to larger consequences. At first, it, seems like, a lot of peace is going to eventually come out of this because he wound up backing the Imperium's emperor into a peace conference. And, as the novella progresses forward, you sort of think, oh, okay, by the end of the story, they're going to be, at peace with each other and everything will go fine. Of course, there are other forces conspiring in the background who, for wrong reasons, want to, turn this against them, and his parties on both the Falconian side and the Imperium side who have their own alternative agendas for what's going on. You know, as you can imagine, things don't work out so well, and eventually the Falconian Khanate winds up getting embroiled in this big elaborate war that at first glance it appears it's winning, but as the story goes along, it realizes it's actually losing. And then, you know, various other secrets about Falconian biology get out, and it winds up making most of the world turn against these people. And, you know, it eventually leads to, you know, them being literally driven off the planet. There are, of course, details I'm leaving out because I wouldn't want to totally spoil it for any of you, when you hopefully all get to read it. I mean, judging by the responses I've gotten from people who read it so far, they're generally impressed. And I also noticed I have avid female readership who respond to the story very well. It's always kind of amazed me because I present it in a very raw way, and from my point of view, a very male way. And for whatever reason, I haven't entirely been able to pin down what it is. My female readers really like it. I mean, they like the female characters. One person, you know, caught on the fact that Nadia is a very strong presence and a powerful woman. And of course, Frederica's intriguing. And she's also no pushover. I mean, none of the females in the book are pushovers by any means. Not Shor's wife, or his mistresses and other wives. Yes, he's a bit of a polygamist here. And then, or any of his daughters. After Shor dies, actually one of his daughters winds up becoming regent for the Khanate. And, you know, she's pretty firm and certain of herself too, and while she's, you know, leading the empire for her brother who hasn't yet reached his majority, who, of course, I should speak about Crown Prince Zakar. If you've seen the Tudors at all, I liken him to, like, Jonathan Rhys Meyers' incarnation of Henry VIII. He's very much the playboy prince, and of course, this separate from his father, he's very, where his father had to put on a mask to present this image of a powerful guy, Shakar just is that sort of naturally and casually. He's very sure of himself, and it's a very interesting contrast in between how Shakar is everything that his father would have wanted to have been. And of course, you know, various characters, you know, make this observation, and you start to learn that some of that's a reaction because Shakar is special, though people really don't know why yet, which of course leads into one of the story twists, which I will not get into now. Okay, well, I guess this is it for the first installment of my blog. Thanks for listening.